In this tutorial, we will be learning how to create a login page using Bootstrap 5. We will be utilizing Bootstrap classes for the majority of the design, with the addition of a few custom CSS classes. The login form is divided into two sections. The left side of the form features a representational image, while the right side is dedicated to the login form itself. The input fields are styled simply. The interface is designed to be user-friendly with clear labels and easy navigation. And there is a straightforward submit button, along with buttons for social logins. This login form is completely responsive and can be used on different screen sizes. For mobile devices, the image is hidden to provide a better user experience and interface. Let's begin our project by setting its title. We will be using Bootstrap CDN for our login project. To include it in our project, we need to copy the bootstrap.css CDN link and paste it inside the head tag. Similarly, we will include the JavaScript file before closing the body tag. We will be using box icons for our project, as they are free and easy to use. To do this, we will use its CDN link and paste it under the head tag. Lastly, we will create a style.cs file in this directory and include it under our head tag. We have completed the initial setup. Now we can move on to working with HTML. We need to create a section with an ID of login. This section will contain other components such as the login form and image. To create a full width container, we'll be using the container fluid bootstrap class. Within this class, we can use a row class to create horizontal rows for holding columns. Similarly, vh100 is used to set the height of an element to 100% of the viewport height. These bootstrap classes will occupy 5 columns in a grid layout and will be hidden on screens smaller than 992 pixels. They will be displayed as block elements for screen sizes greater than 992 pixels. Also, this will set an element to position relative. A div element with a class of bg image that will contain a side image. When the screen size is less than or equal to 576 pixels, call sm10 will occupy 10 columns. Similarly, call lg6 will take 50% of the width when the screen size is greater than 992 pixels. This will add left and right padding of 1.25 rem when the screen size is greater than 768 px. Similarly, it will align elements to the center relative to their container. Likewise, mxauto will center the element horizontally. Bootstrap class to center the text and margin bottom of 1.5 rem. Heading with an h6 element. To create a login form, we will use a Bootstrap card which will serve as a container for the form. To remove the border on all sides, we will set the border to 0. To give it a border radius of 0.375 rem, we will set it to rounded 3. We will also add a horizontal padding of 3 rem and a vertical padding of 0.5 rem. Card header class describes the heading for the card. The class bgWhite sets the background to white, the bottom border to 0, and the text is aligned center. Image is placed within the header of the card. Our main login form will now be wrapped inside a card body. The padding top will be set to 0. The form element with class row and class g3 will give moderate space between elements. To make an element take the full width of its container, we will use the class called md12. Within this div, we will place our input fields and their labels. For this login form, we will simply copy the email field from Bootstrap's official documentation. To mark a particular field as required, we will add a span tag with class textDanger within the label tag. Now for the password field, we can simply copy the components from the email field and make necessary changes such as input type and placeholder. We have finished coding the HTML for the input field. Next, we will create a div element with the dFlex class, which will allow us to use the flexbox layout and add spacing between child elements. Then we will create a div element with the form check, inside which we will add an input element with a checkbox type and the form check input class. This will ensure that the input elements within a form check control look consistent and are easy to interact with. Similarly, we will add a label for the checkbox. We will then place a link for forgot password, which will be underlined with the U tag. We will place a button inside a div with class called MD12. The button tag will have a class btn and its border will be set to 0. Now that we have completed the login form, we will close the form tag and create a div with class position relative and a margin top of 1.5 rem. Next, we will add an HR tag to create a horizontal line. Next, we will create a div with a class content divider. To create social login buttons, we need to work on a div with class row and text center. We will be using col6, which will occupy 50% width of the container for each social button. Within this, we will add an anchor tag with class dFlex to make it a flexbox. To align its content vertically at the center, we will use align item center. We will also align it horizontally at the center using justify content center. The class named Facebook will have a padding of 2 on all sides and text color set to white. We will copy and paste the code for the Facebook logo icon from the box icon. Similarly, we will be using a span tag and giving it a padding of 0.25 rem. We will copy code from the Facebook button and change its class to Google. Then we will modify its icon and span text content. This is what our HTML skeleton looks like now. Now it's time for CSS. We'll be incorporating the Google font pop-ins for our website. To do this, we'll import the necessary code into our CSS file. To remove the default underline in anchor links, we will set the text decoration to none. For the HC6 heading, we will set the font weight to 800 and the color to a dark blue-gray shade. To apply CSS rules to the entire web page, we will target the body tag. We will set the font family to pop-ins and the background color to a light shade of gray. For the image within the cart header, we will set the width to 200px, height to auto, and padding to 0.5 rem at the top and 0 on the left and right. The form label will have a color of dark blue-gray shade. To target the input field with the class form control, we will set the background color to white, padding top and bottom to 0, and padding left and right to 30px. The border color will be set to a shade of gray, and the line height can be set to 40px. When a form control receives focus, we will remove its outline by setting it to none. We will also remove the box shadow. The background color will be white, while the text color will be a dark blue-gray shade. The border color will be set to a shade of gray. Similarly, we will set the checkbox border color to a shade of gray. The text within the label color will be a dark blue-gray shade. The color for the forget password link has been set to a shade of dark blue. We will now style the submit button by setting its width to 100%. The margin for top and bottom will be set to 10px, while the left and right margins will be set to 0. The padding for all sides will be set to 12px. The color will be white, and the font weight will be set to 600. The background color will be a dark shade of blue, and the border radius will be set to 0. When the button is hovered over, the color will be set to white, and the background color will remain the same as it was before hovering. We will set a background image for the element. This image will be positioned absolutely with a width and minimum height of 100%. We will position the element at the top left corner of its containing element by setting its top and left positions to 0. The background size will be set to cover, which scales the background image to cover the entire background area. The background position will be set to center, which aligns the image center both horizontally and vertically. Finally, we will set the background repeat to no repeat, which prevents the image from repeating. The content divider class is used to position a divider at the center of its parent container, both horizontally and vertically. To achieve this, we will set the position to absolute and use top 50% and left 50% to place the top left corner of the element at the center of its containing element. We will also use the transform property to move the divider 50% from the left and top of the parent container. A padding of 0.5 rem will be added to the left and right of the divider, and the background color will be set to white. Font weight will be set to 600 to achieve a bold appearance. The font size will be set to 14px. Further, the white space property will be set to now wrap to prevent text wrapping, and the text color will be set to a dark blue-gray color. For the social login buttons, we will add their respective background colors. For Facebook, it will be a shade of blue. And for Google, the background will be a shade of red. Finally, we have completed the CSS styling. We have created a modern, simple and responsive login form using Bootstrap 5. I hope you have learned something new about creating forms using Bootstrap. Make sure to check the description below for the initial code and follow along. If you found this tutorial helpful, please like, share and subscribe for more content.